Hello, Pewter people. Scott Reynolds here with another Pewter Pulse. The Bucs lost their first game of the year last week to the Philadelphia Eagles, 31-25 at Raymond James Stadium. And that begs the question, with three more tough NFC challenges ahead, starting with the Seahawks this week, followed by the 49ers and the Lions, each with just one loss as I record this video, could this be the start of another four-game losing streak in Tampa Bay? I know it's on your mind. It's on my mind too. And I'll let you know the four things the Bucs can do to avoid another four-game losing skid this season in just a moment. But first, a reminder, hit the thumbs up button on this video. Give it a like. Also, leave a comment. I love reading your comments. When you do those two things, it helps us with the YouTube algorithm, gets us in front of more awesome Bucs fans like you. Also, go over to Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. We're on the way to 22,000 subscribers, thanks to you. Okay, I've got four ways that the Bucs can get their fourth win of the season and avoid another four-game losing streak. In the process, this would be 3 years in a row that they would have lost four games if they don't get that fourth win sometime soon. So let's get to it. The first way, of course, I'm a defensive-minded guy. You know that, is to start creating more takeaways on defense. The fact that the Bucs have just two takeaways, an interception and a fumble in four games, is unacceptable. It was unacceptable when Tampa Bay's defense had just 7 interceptions last year. But this year's squad is on a similar pace. And fortunately, Todd Bowles' defense has played much better football in a ton of areas this year, including total defense, run defense, third down defense, tackles for loss. But in order for the Bucs to ascend from being a good defense to becoming a great defense, it needs to take the ball away and deny opposing offenses scoring opportunities. They're going to have to do that in Seattle because if they don't, they're going to lose the turnover battle and lose that game to the Seahawks. Seattle already has 7 interceptions on defense through 4 games. 7! As I wrote about in my SR's Fab 5 column on Friday on pewterreport.com, the Buccaneers must become the Ball Hawcaneers starting in Seattle on Sunday. And Jamel Dean won't be available to help out with another interception. Did I actually say that? Look no further than Liam Cohen's 3-1 Jaguars, who went into San Francisco and dealt the 49ers their only loss of the season so far. How'd they do it? With 3 takeaways on defense. The Jaguars have had 4 straight games this year with 3 takeaways on defense so far. And the Jaguars lead the league with a +9 turnover margin. That's huge. The number 2 way the Buccaneers can avoid a losing skid at midseason once again is to get off to faster starts on both sides of the ball. Baker Mayfield talked about it this week, and he's right. Tampa Bay has been outscored 34-13 in the first quarter so far. That's a minus 21 point differential. The Bucs trailed the Eagles 24-3 at one point right before halftime last week. That included the second quarter, of course. And Sunday is not the game to start slow in once again. Seattle ranks second in the league, averaging 8.8 points in the first quarter, while the Bucs averaged just 3.3 points in the first quarter. That ranks 15th in the NFL. I'm sorry, actually, it ranks 24th in the NFL. The 49ers average 4.6 points per game in the first quarter, which ranks 15th. And the Lions down the road average 7 points per game. That ranks inside the top 10. Number 3, how about no more block parties where the Bucs opponents are invited? 3 blocked kicks in each of the last 3 games is ridiculous. And folks, it's going to happen again. I hate to tell it to you. I have zero faith in Thomas McGahee as the special teams coordinator come up with either the right personnel or the right protection scheme up front. And I have zero faith in Riley Dixon as a punter due to his slow wind-up delivery when he kicks the ball. He needs to speed up his kicking process. And at age 32, with 9 punt blocks on his resume throughout his career, I'm not sure that he can do it. It's a shame that we're even talking about punt blocks because the Bucs finally have a return game And Chase McLaughlin is back to being money with those long field goals. Can't Tampa Bay have a good punter and a good kicker at the same time? Can't we all have nice things? And finally, number 4, a return to the running game. At first glance, you think about Tampa Bay's ground game, and it's not bad. It looks pretty good statistically speaking. Tampa Bay is averaging 124 yards per game, which is tied for 10th in the NFL. But Baker Mayfield is the second leading rusher on the team with 129 yards, and he's averaging 9.2 yards per carry. Mayfield is picking up yards on the ground via scrambles, not designed runs. And his 33-yard dash against the Jets in Week 3 is the longest run of the year by any Buccaneer. Neither Bucky Irving nor Rachaad White have a 20-yard run just yet. In fact, Irving is averaging just a pedestrian 3.3 yards per carry on the ground this year after averaging over 5 yards a carry last year. And he's out against Seattle and probably San Francisco too. That means Rachaad White and Sean Tucker will have to pick up the slack in the ground game. And that's going to be tough to do against a very stout Seahawks run defense, which ranks 6th in the NFL, right behind Tampa Bay, and only allows 89 yards per game on the ground. And it won't get easier over the next 2 weeks either against the 49ers and the Lions, both of which are formidable against the run. The good news is for Tampa Bay, Rachaad White's in a contract year. He'll have a chance to be the starter for a week or two. He's out to prove that he's ready for a new big contract, either with the Bucs or another team. And Sean Tucker will also get the opportunity to have way more touches than he has so far as the number 2 running back. Hopefully, a more normalized group up front along the offensive line with Tristan Wirfs' return helps the ground game. And right tackle Luke Gedeke should come off injured reserve in time for that big Monday Night Football game in Detroit in Week 7. He looked good this week, walking around the locker room. There was no scooter, there was no boot, and he was walking without any type of brace or wrap around his injured foot. It's a good sign. Whether it's a win in Seattle or maybe next week at home against San Francisco, getting a victory either this Sunday or the following Sunday would go a long way to ending any talk of Tampa Bay getting mired in another 4-game losing streak. These next 3 games are critical because they're against very tough NFC playoff caliber opponents. It's even harder because the Bucs aren't at full strength right now and they've got a litany of injuries. And not only do the Bucs have to avoid losing 4 games in a row again, it can't be losing to the Seahawks, 49ers, and Lions after that Eagles loss, because that's going to affect playoff positioning as well. The Bucs just lost to the Eagles, and going at least 1-2 in this stretch is vital, if not going 2-1. Folks, you got to go over to Pewter Report TV. That's our YouTube channel. That's vital. Visit that YouTube channel for more Pewter Pulse videos, other great Bucs video content. Easy for me to say. Make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Pewter Report and pewterreport.com, the mothership, and I'll be back soon with a new Pewter Pulse.